you guys, thanks so much for clicking on my channel. Well, all smiles over here. I am Will Sanja Slay asking a question. Will Sanja help you keep a smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm gonna try not to keep it long, but y'all already know. If it gets good, I'm gonna keep on talking. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to go. The next today is close the chapter. But before I get to running my mouth, let's go ahead and do what? Take up this manifestation jar and then we're gonna talk about it, okay? Let's see. And I pulled out one and it says what? Strong marriage. And we'll take that all day long. Listen, close the chapter. Close that chapter. Why? Because when you finally close a chapter, that means you understand that you have grown through that process, that it's finished, it's over, and now it's time for you to do what? Move on, which means what? You're going to the next level. Sometimes we get stuck with keeping a chapter open. And when you get stuck with keeping a chapter open, you know what happens? You're not able to be successful in the new that you have. That ex-wife, you still got the chapter open. That ex-husband, you still have the chapter open. And now your new marriage is not as successful. Why? Because that chapter is still open. You're still thinking about how your ex treated you, how your ex did you. You bringing your ex up all the time, talking about your ex all the time. Don't nobody want to hear nothing about the ex or what they did to you and how they did that to you. Move on. Close that chapter so that new of a husband and new of a wife can benefit from what God has done for the both of you. Are y'all listening to me? Sometimes you can be in a new job, but you're not as successful and not as happy. Why? Because you still got the chapter open from the old job of how you got fired. You're still talking about, yeah, you know, I'm glad I got this job because that other job fired me. Oh, they did me wrong. You can't be happy in your new talking about your own. You do know that, right? When you buy new shoes, do you keep those old raggedy shoes that smell like corn chips and whatnot? No, you don't keep that. You throw those out. Why? Because you ain't trying to put those smelly things on your feet. You got something new, something shiny, something great. That's why you got to what? Close the chapter. You have never read a book where you start reading chapter 1. You don't finish it, but you go on to the next chapter. You know why you don't ever do that? Because if you decide to go on to the second chapter without finishing up the first chapter, you'll be so confused. You will not understand what's going on in chapter 2 because what? You didn't finish chapter 1. You said, well, why would they do that right there? Well, why she said that? Well, why he did that? And you didn't read what happened at the end of chapter 1. Because if you understood the whole chapter of 1 and read through the whole thing, then you'll understand why chapter 2 is reading the way it is. That's how it is in your life. You gotta what? Close chapter 1. You gotta finish it. That thing gotta be finished. It has to be finished. Then you gotta close it, then move on. Move on to your new. Get to the next level. And God is like the airplane service. You can only take one carry-on. God said, you ain't bringing all that baggage on this plane, weighing it down. We ain't crashing in this new level. We're going to make it to the destination. We're not going to crash. Leave that extra baggage behind. One carry-on. That's you and the knowledge that you've gained from the growth in that process. Now, if you still carrying around that baggage, that old chapter, you ain't going to be able to see clearly. And shucks, like I said, make it to the next level. Because all that baggage is going to prevent you from what? Being very successful in this new level. So close the chapter. It's time to move on. Whether they're happy or not, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to close the chapter of fear. Close the chapter of doubt. Close the chapter of hate. Close the chapter of drama. Close the chapter of whatever has been contrary to who you are at core. Close all those chapters. You've been through all of it. Learn the lesson. Let it go. Shut it down. You finished. It's time to move on. Close the chapter so you can soar this next level. I hope y'all got this thing, but I said, oh, you know what? Let me tell them to close the chapter. And this golden nugget was actually inspired by a song called Moving On. And it's by, I think his name, Jonathan McReynolds. And it was my first time hearing it today. And y'all, that song is something else. I was like, oh, I played it about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times today, this morning. And I was like, oh my goodness. You can't move on unless you close a chapter. If you don't close that chapter, you ain't gonna ever move on. Because you're gonna find yourself still stuck in it. Therefore, you're not gonna be present in the level of that new level. Because you're going to still be seeing the old. Get rid of the old so you can enjoy the new. Move on. Go to the next level. Be happy with your new husband. Be happy with your new wife. Be happy with your new friends. Be happy on your new job. Let all that old stuff go. You've learned the lesson. Now, if you hadn't learned the lesson, then that probably explains why you're still holding it on. Which means what? You're going to have to get all the way aligned and connected. Allow God to be at the forefront of your life, moving in the 3 years that you'll receive within your journey with some clarity. And with that clarity, what will God do? He will allow you to grow through the process to get over all of that chapter, to finish that chapter so that you can finally move on. And trust me, when you do it like that, you'll be so happy at the end. You'll be so successful. You will. Why? Because there will be no baggage. You don't have to worry about crashing. Why? Because God is not going to allow you to bring on some extra baggage. One carry-on. No, one carry-on. Just one carry-on. One carry-on. That's it. That's it. Just one carry-on. Not going to overload all this new level with some trash, with some baggage. That's all gone. It's just like when you're juicing. Everything that you juice, you leave all the pulp behind. You just want the purity of the juice. Leave the pulp behind. Leave that pulp behind. The pulp is the chapter. You got what you needed from that. Now move on. Go on now. Move on. Get that one carry on and go on to the next level. I hope y'all got it, but if y'all didn't, make sure you rewind and watch again. But in the meantime, in between time, you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life to the best of your ability. You won't ever have the massive smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, blessed, be blessed, blessed, be blessed, blessed. Y'all know what's coming next. Close the chapter. Ciao.